Hey, what's poppin'? It's your boy Jay the Comedian. Good morning. How y'all doing? How am I doing? I'm okay. Y'all made me really happy yesterday, and today I'm feeling much better. Thanks to all the nice people out there, and I couldn't thank you enough, or just say how better I feel just talking to y'all. Y'all made me realize some things I never even thought about, and otherwise, I feel great. I feel real great. And today I just wanted to talk to any active Jehovah Witness that watches my page. I want to do a little exercise with you, Exercise in reason and logic. Now, if you hear me say reason and logic and you're like, oh, well, you're trying to say I'm dumb, I don't have reason and logic. No, I'm not saying that at all. What I'm actually saying is something that I honestly believe, as far as like members who are Jehovah Witnesses. Not only do I think you're extremely intelligent, I don't even think you realize how incredibly intelligent and strong you are. And I mean that honestly. But being the strong, intelligent person that you are, you should never run from reason and logic, and you should never feel that you're misguided in searching for correct answers. So, I want to start off by saying first, what's 1 + 1? Now, I've done this little exercise in the video prior to this, but I just want to point out how humans are very inquisitive creatures. Because if I ever come to you and I ask you what's 1 + 1, you're going to say it's 2. Now, if I were to go on and say, what if I could prove that 1 + 1 is not 2? Or is not always 2? Usually, you would not push me away. Most people would not say, 1 + 1 is 2. I don't want to hear nothing else you got to say. Get out of my face with that craziness. Because you see, the thing is that if you take a man and a woman and you put them in a room and give them everything that they would need to survive, can you guarantee me that if you came back 2 years later, that there would only still be 2 people inside of that room? Can you guarantee me that? Because the thing is that 1 + 1 only equals 2 when those 2 things put together can't replicate, or when one of those things can't replicate on its own. You understand? So that proves 1 + 1 doesn't always equal 2. But the point that I'm bringing up is, when you heard me say that, instead of you saying, oh, I don't want to hear what you got to say, you sound crazy, the inquisitive side of your mind that we all have set up and it perked up, and you said, oh wow, I really got to hear what this guy has to say. How are you going to prove that 1 + 1 equals, that's crazy to me. How can you prove that? I have to hear what you got to say next. That's how we are as humans. We're very inquisitive. We want to know certain things. We want to know how the world works around us, and we've been using it for decades. Now that brings us to the next point. I have 2 questions. If you know a person, right, and this person, all he does is lie. Every time you talk to him, he lies. Lie after lie. You can't believe nothing this guy says. And not only can't believe what he says, he lies at times when he don't even need to lie. It's not even important, but he lies. My question to you is that person capable of telling the truth? The answer is yes. I wouldn't depend on it, but the answer is yes. Even a liar is capable of telling the truth. Now, my second question. If you have a person who's the most honest person you know, all they do is tell the truth, they go above and beyond to make sure that what they say is accurate at all times. Even telling the truth in times where it would be more beneficial and helpful to lie. My question to you is that person capable of lying? The answer is yes. And if I'm being 100% honest, that person would be more of a dangerous liar than the other person, because he has the reputation to back up the lie he's telling you. The reason I'm even bringing this up is to just point out that nobody has the monopoly on either truth or lie. And the best way to reach the actual truth is to hear all sides and put up the information you have to an unbiased investigation. That's how you reach the truth. Anything else is untrue. If I were to go to court and I was like, hey, judge, David murdered me the other day. It was sad and bloody, and he had no remorse. It was very bad. And the judge was like, oh my God, he murdered you? David, you know what? You're going to jail for murder. You're a horrible person. You deserve to be locked away forever. And David's like, how? He's standing right in front of you. And then the judge cuts him off. I don't want to hear what you got to say. You murdered this man. and you're going to jail forever. See, this is the thing. If the judge would even listen to the guy for 5 seconds, the guy could prove his innocence. If the judge did any type of investigation on what's being told to him, the guy would be able to prove his innocence. But this is the thing, though. That's a ridiculous scenario, which should never happen. And I'm sure you're like, Jay, that's ridiculous. That would never happen, right? There's a court case where a young man was abused by elders at his congregation. For like a decade, this elder had an inappropriate relationship with this underage kid. Now, the elder was disfellowship, but the elders at his congregation said it went on for so long that the kid had to be complicit in it. So he got disfellowship too. Now, if he could explain himself to the congregation would instantly know that the elders made a bad decision, that the elders were obviously trying to cover up something, because why else would they disfellowship him? Why else would they remove his ability to speak out about what happened to him if they weren't trying to hide it? It would take very little evidence to prove it, you know? It would take very little talking to prove it. And it's actually ridiculous that even happened, but it did happen. See, this is the thing about certain organizations. They can tell you one thing, but their actions usually prove something different. If I told you that I do not like humping beluga whales, but every time you come in my room, you see like beluga whales in like funny positions, and I'm watching the beluga whale channel all the time with my pants off, you'd probably reason that I told you a mistruth about my interpretation and relationship of beluga whales. My point is this. If an organization is about the truth and getting to the truth and only wanting the truth, if somebody says a negative thing about your organization, the only thing that they should be looking into is whether or not it's true or not. Because an organization that's truly about getting to the truth will take any negative thing that's put out about them, and they'd not only listen to it, they'd fix it. Because once you fix something that's negative about your organization officially becomes stronger. And not only is it stronger, you have the grounds to show people that you're willing to fix things that's wrong inside of this organization. That's if your organization is really about the truth. But if your organization instead demonize anybody who says negative things about your organization, casts them out, cuts them off from any type of communication, that should tell you everything you need to know about that organization and what their true intentions are. If you're inside of an organization that wants to protect its image, that's exactly what they would do. But if you're inside an organization that wants to protect the truth, there's a certain behavior that goes along with that. Information is freely passed around in organizations that want the truth out there. Information is not scary. Information is not demonized. Information is actually freely given in organizations that care about the truth and that's looking for the truth. You only hide things you don't want people to see. You hear what I'm saying? And this is what I want everybody to know when it comes to anything that you're involved in. anybody who's telling you something, you can pretty much look into what they're saying. I will never tell you to believe what one person says. I'll tell you to investigate everything. There's people inside the XJW community who are completely wrong on several issues. But just because I think they're wrong about certain things, does that mean that I think they're wrong about everything and I shouldn't listen to them? That's not how information works. Once again, nobody has a monopoly on the truth. Nobody has the monopoly on lies. Nobody has the monopoly on information. Nobody. And there are certain ways to get to the truth, and there's certain ways to hide things. If your organization is hiding things, or their body language is that of somebody who's trying to hide things, that's your red flag to look into what you're being told and look at all sides. Once again, nobody has the monopoly on the truth. Nobody has monopoly on a lie. That simply means you need to hear all sides, and you need to draw your own conclusion, not a conclusion that somebody else has given you. You know what I'm saying? That's my best argument against the Jehovah Witness organization. Subscribe if you like the page. Holla Chiguala. Deuces.